Hey guys, in today's video, I'll be showcasing Feraligatr from the Temporal Forces again. I don't know, I've just been having a lot of fun with this deck lately, but this time I'm using my own twist to it. But just to recap, Feraligatr has the ability Torrential Heart. Once during your turn, you may put 5 damage counters on this Pokemon, and if you do, attacks used by this Pokemon will do 120 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. And with the help of Relicanth's Memory Dive ability, you can use the attacks of Feraligatr's pre-evolution stages as well. The basic stage for Feraligatr is Totodile. It has the Big Bite attack, which deals 10 damage, and it also prevents your opponent from retreating the defending Pokemon. And its stage 1 is Croconaw with a Reverse Thrust attack. It deals 30 damage, and then you switch this Pokemon to one of your benched Pokemon. And Feraligatr has its Giant Wave attack, which deals 160 damage, but during your next turn, this Pokemon can't use Giant Wave. This Pokemon is just so good with the potential to increase its attack anytime you want. And basically all the principal strategy remains the same as my last showcase, but this time I made a few changes of my own. And as for my A-Spec card, I will be using Grand Tree Stadium instead. This will allow your basic Totodile to evolve into Stage 1 Croconaw and straight into Stage 2 Feraligatr in a single turn. This is actually one of the fastest way to evolve into your Stage 2 Pokemon. And this is important because you do want to retain all 3 stages of Feraligatr so that you have more attack options. And this is actually one of the reasons why we also don't use rare candies in the deck. You can also use Colress Tenacity to help you search for this stadium. As for the other cards worth noting, this time I will be using RABSCA to prevent our opponent from dealing damage to our benched Pokemon, especially against Slowking. And finally, I also have BONSLY. I actually have never used this in any of my decks, so I thought I'd use it this time. It has the attack Blubbering. For 0 energy, it deals 10 damage, and it also confuses your opponent's active Pokemon. One of the reasons why I have this little guy in the deck is to help us counter any Cornerstone Ogerpon EX, which I think is this deck's greatest weakness. This is all due to the fact that Cornerstone Ogerpon EX can negate any attack damage from any Pokemon with an ability on it. So really, majority of Feraligatr's attack will be rendered useless. But at least with BONSLY, not only are we dealing damage for free, we're also lowering our opponent's chances to successfully attack by 50%. While your opponent's Pokemon is confused, your opponent will have to flip a coin. If they get heads, their attack is successful, but if they get tails, their attack does not happen, and their Pokemon will also receive 30 damage. And all we'll have to do is continue to transfer damage counters onto Ogerpon with Munkidori. So yeah, this is my take on Feraligatr. It's still pretty strong actually, but I am reconsidering adding Milotic EX back into this deck. But what about you guys? What is your favorite variant for this Feraligatr? Do let me know in the comments below. Anyways, that's pretty much it. You can find the complete deck list in the description below. Now please enjoy the following gameplay videos showcasing the second version of Feraligatr. Before we get into the video, I have a small request. If you're liking the content I create, please leave a like to this video and please support this channel by subscribing if you haven't already. This is a small click for you, but for me, it means a lot. Thank you so much for all of your support. Alright, on to our first match. My opponent actually won the coin flip. They let us go first, and we also mulligan, so my opponent will get 1 extra card on their first turn. But we're starting with the Totodile in the active spot, and we got another Munkidori. I can attach a Luminous Energy to 1, and my opponent's also starting with Munkidori. So between the Munkidoris, we could just keep transferring damage counters back and forth, I guess, but we are going against a mirror match with Buddy Buddy Poffin. My opponent sets up 2 Totodiles on their bench. And with Artisan, they also set up a Relicanth. Alright, well, may the best player win, I guess. But I think my strategy for this matchup is to just barrage my opponent with damage counters using Munkidori. Well, let's go ahead and use their Artisan, and then we can get Relicanth of our own. And with Buddy Buddy Poffin, I'm gonna get Badoo and another Totodile. So it's always good to have 2 attackers as much as possible. I'm gonna use Crispin so I can energize both my Totodile in the active and also put Dark Energy on my second Munkidori. We can also evolve into Croconaw, and then we can start attacking here. If I deal 30, they could just transfer the damage, but I think I'm going to go for Big Bite. I'm just going to trap their Munkidori in the active spot right now. Because as far as I know, a lot of Feraligatr builds don't really use any switching cards. Like our builds doesn't really have it. So my opponent will attach Rescue Board to their Munkidori, but that's fine. It's not going to be able to retreat because of our attack. And my opponent uses Iono. That actually gave us Croconaw to evolve into and Grantry. So we can actually fully evolve into Feraligatr. Speaking of, my opponent will use their own Grantry as well. So they're gonna evolve into Croconaw and into Feraligatr. So Feraligatr is actually pretty dangerous because all it takes is one energy, and as long as Relicanth is in play, they can use Reverse Thrust, deal 150, especially if they can increase their damage for their attack. So they're using exactly the strategy we're using by using Feraligatr's ability to put damage counters. You can just transfer those with Monkey Dory. Oh wait, why can't we use Grantry? Oh, you can only evolve using Grantry if it is from the basic stage. That was a big mistake on my part. Well, lesson learned. So learned from my mistake. I'm just gonna give back the damage counters that my opponent gave me. And then we're gonna continue to trap their Monkey Dory in the active spots. So once we get a draw support here to get our Feraligatr, we can advance forward. But right now, yeah, Grantry, you need to evolve your basic into stage 1, and if you do, you can get your stage 2 afterwards. So since we evolved into Croconaw from our hand, it actually negates the effect of Grantry. But my opponent will take advantage of knocking out our Badoo. It only has 3 HP or 30 HP. So all it required was 3 damage counters to knock it out, getting my opponent their first prize. But they have Counter Catcher. They can't use it. We are behind on prizes. We got Colress's Tenacity though. We can get an energy, but as of right now, I can bump out their Grantry, get another Dark Energy, and then I can just get another Monkey Dory. And with 3 Monkey Dories in play, I think we have the advantage. I'm just gonna continue to trap my opponent's Monkey Dory in the active. So whatever damage they transfer to us, we can transfer it right back, and we have more firepower in that sense. We'll have the upper hand when it comes to transferring damage counters. Well, my opponent still has 1 open slot. I don't think they have any other Monkey Dories in their deck unless it's prized. You can use Earthen Vessel to discard their Counter Catcher to get 2 more water energies. And slowly but surely they are building up their Feraligatr. We need to get our own Feraligatr, but we're not getting the support cards that we need. Okay, they're gonna transfer 2 damage counters. There's our Feraligatr. Alright, now we can increase our damage here. And since we're behind on prizes, we can even use Counter Catcher to actually target one of their Feraligatrs. So it was smart for my opponent to not transfer 3 damage counters. But thankfully we have Torrential Heart of our own, so we can transfer all of these damage counters and even get a knockout against this Feraligatr. So yeah, but the problem here is they're just gonna knock out my Feraligatr if I do that. But I do have Lana's Aids, so I think I should be fine. Let me go ahead and just keep transferring damage counters. All I need is 32 Feraligatr in the active, and then I'll just transfer as much damage counter to one of their Monkey Dories, and then I'm just going to reverse thrust to get a knockout here, and then I'm gonna sacrifice Relicanth. So we got our first prize. We are even in the prize trade now. They can't use Counter Catcher either. And if they knock out Relicanth, I could just use Lana's Aid to recover it back, put it back into play, and then we could just keep attacking And again, having 3 Monkey Dories, I think, gives us the advantage, because we can just put damage counters left and right to our Feraligatr, and then just keep transferring it to our opponent's Pokemon. And slowly but surely, we could even take easy knockouts against their Pokemon, getting us ahead in the price trade. So they can transfer 6. They can't knock out any of our Pokemon, but it will weaken Relicanth. But I don't think they need to do that, actually, because again, Feraligatr can just deal a lot of damage. But yeah, I don't know how my opponents will strategize against our own strategy here. But it really depends on what each player has in their hand. Right now, I think we have the advantage because we do have Lana's Aid. They have TM Evolution though. I think it will be a waste if they just use Feraligatr to evolve, but if they don't have any energy, I mean, they have Relicanth, they can use their previous evolution's attack. But no, they're just gonna use TM Evolution. I don't know, I think that was a waste of move because they can attack, knock out Relicanth. But we got another Feraligatr, guys, so we have 2 Feraligatrs now to put damage counters. And then we just keep transferring those damage counters back to our opponent. But right now, Relicanth has a lot of damage. Let's go ahead and just increase our damage here with Feraligatr. I can knock out their active, and then we can even knock out their Croconaw using all 3 of our Monkey Dories. So we'll get 2 prizes here. We have an energy to retreat our Relicanth, and then we could just use Reverse Thrust again if we need to. Let me go ahead. Oh, my opponent concedes. All right, good game. All right, going into our match number 2. This time we'll start with 2 Totodiles on our board, and we will be going first in this matchup. We're going against Dragapult EX. This is going to be a tough matchup, guys, because I don't have Melodic EX in this deck anymore. Maybe I should just retain it, actually. We got 2 energies here. Can attach that to Totodile, and got a bunch of Ionos. At least we'll be ready to draw into more cards next turn, but I wish I had another card to set up my other basic Pokemon, because we definitely need RABSCA in this matchup to prevent the damage counter spread from the Phantom type attack. My opponent will use Iono. And okay, we got a Mimikyu. At least we can block Dragapult EX's attack while Mimikyu is in the active, but it is not immune to the damage counter spread. Then we can evolve into Croconaw, and we'll see what happens after that. My opponent will retreat their Dreepy. They will attack with Badoo, and now we are item locked. I can evolve into Croconaw, and then I can use Arven to get Rescue Board and Nest Ball. I could probably get Monkey Dory with that. Then again, we are item locked. So what I'm gonna do is just use Reverse Thrust, get a knockout at least against this Badoo. Hitting for 30 damage, retreat into Mimikyu. So if they manage to evolve into Dragapult EX, they will not be able to knock out our Mimikyu. So they're gonna set up another Duskull on their bench. Attach an energy to Dreepy. They can use Iono once again. Okay, we got BONSLY and Feraligatr. BONSLY and Feraligatr. And with the Ultra Ball, they're gonna get Dracloak. Now they can use the Recon Directive ability, which allows them to look at the top 2 cards of their deck, put one at the bottom of their deck, and then they draw the other one. And they're just gonna instant charge. Alright, we survive another turn. Let me go ahead and use Arven to get Nest Ball and Luxurious Cape. Let me see if I can... should I get Monkey Dory or Relor? See, if I get Relor, if they have Rare Candy evolving to Dragapult, Relor is just gonna die. But if they don't evolve into Dragapult, we can evolve into RABSCA, maybe. So I don't know if it's gonna work out, but I'm gonna go for Monkey Dory. Retreat into Crocona, and then I can start energizing my other Totodile. I don't want to evolve into Feraligatr because now I can't use Reverse Thrust without Relicanth. Actually, maybe I should have just gotten Relicanth, but as of right now, this is what I have. But yeah, I know you guys are gonna comment down below. You're probably gonna tell me what I should have done, and that's fine. I actually learned from those comment guys, so I do appreciate those feedbacks. You know, we keep learning. Every new set that comes out, the meta changes, and your strategy changes, and you just keep learning. But my opponent has Rare Candy. They evolve into Dragapult EX. They also have Sparkling Crystal to act as another energy for Dragapult. They're gonna sacrifice a prize by knocking out their Dusclops to put 5 damage counters to Mimikyu. And they're gonna get another Dusclops using the Forest Seal Stone to add 5 damage counters to our Totodile. They're giving up prizes, but you know what? With Dragapult and also by using Counter Catcher to target Crocona, we'll be left with just one Pokemon. That is with Monkey Dory. So my opponent gets 3 prizes right here. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we can still win this. Let's put Relicanth in play. I can use Lana's 8 to recover at least these 3. I can try and confuse my opponent because they don't have any other attackers. But then again, they could just retreat, attack with another Dragapult EX, but I mean, this is my chance to showcase Bonsly, right? I'll just play my other basic Pokemon, that's fine. And then I can increase my HP, and I'm just gonna use Blubbering. So we deal 10 damage to their Dragapult EX. It is confused. Now if they try to attack, they'll have to flip a coin, and they need to get heads to successfully attack. If not, they're just gonna hurt themselves for 30 damage. Well, like I said, if they have an energy, they have another Dragapult, they can switch back, but at least with the Luxurious Cape, we can survive an attack. But never mind, they have Dusknoir. Thanks to a Rare Candy, they evolved their Duskull right away into Stage 2. And yeah, my opponent has nothing left to lose here. They can give up a prize, and with Crispin, they even get the 2 energies that they need. If they have Dragapult EX, you know, they can just retreat back and just win it. So they're gonna give up another prize with Dusknoir, knocking out our Mimikyu. And it's all left to Bonsly. Hey, they got tails, alright? That's awesome. Good job, Bonsly. Let's go ahead and use Color's Tenacity. We can get Grand Tree and an energy. We can get Crocona and evolve straight into Feraligatr at least. And then you know what, even if we had Reversal Energy, it wouldn't have worked because we have an even price trade anyway, so it's fine. I'm just gonna energize my Feraligatr, and then I mean, I could use Torrential Hearts and just use Big Bite, but I'm just gonna go ahead and use Big Bite for now. Trap my opponent's active. All we need to do is knock this guy out anyways. So I'm just gonna trap it. We have Luminous Energy for next turn. And then once we increase our damage counters, or once we increase our attack damage using our Torrential Heart ability, we can knock out this Dragapult EX. It just comes down to whether or not they're gonna be able to successfully attack. So it comes down to a coin flip, or if my opponent has any switch cards. They're gonna boss my BONSLY though, and they can actually get... Oh no! Oh no! They can get 2 prizes because of the Luxurious Cape. They didn't care. If they got tails, they would have lost. If they got heads, they won, and they did. Anyways, we tried. Good game. That was a pretty close one. On to our third and final match. We'll be starting with Totodile, and we also have Relicanth on our bench. Let's go ahead and see what we're going up against here. And we're going against Charizard EX. Alright. So my opponent will be starting with a Pidgey in their active spot. They also have Duskull and Charmander on their bench. And they're gonna get another Duskull and another Charmander with Buddy Bitty Poffin. They're gonna attach an energy to Pidgey, and they're gonna end their turn. Alright, well, we do have an energy. Let me go ahead and attach that to Totodile. And then I'm just gonna use Professor's Research. We need to be a little bit more aggressive here. We got Monkey Dory. We can use Artisan to... Let's see here. We don't need Rabsca. We already have Relicanth. I think I'm gonna go for Badoo. That way I can item lock my opponent, because they'll need Rare Candy to evolve fully into Charizard EX, and then they can accelerate energies, start attacking that way. And also their Pidgeot EX needs, I think, Rare Candy to evolve. But you know, as they say, we live in a Badoo driven format right now, so a lot of decks actually use stage 1 now to fully evolve into stage 2, so they're not relying too much on rare candies. But they're just gonna boss us. They don't do anything else, so now it's our turn again. And then I'm just gonna get another Monkey Dory with Artisan, and then I'm gonna use Crispin. I'm just gonna keep getting energies out here. So what I'm gonna try and do is put an energy to my Totodile, and then I'm gonna retreat this Relicanth back into Badoo and continue to item lock my opponents. So we need a few more turns to fully set up our board. I might just have to use Colress's Tenacity to get Grand Tree, but that actually might help out my opponent, but we'll see. Again, they use Boss's Orders to try and trap my Relicanth in the active spot. I'm just gonna set up another attacker. So with Nest Ball, we're gonna get Totodile, and I'm probably just gonna have to retreat Relicanth again into Badoo. And then item lock my opponent once again. So when I'm ready, I'm gonna use Colress's Tenacity. That way we can grab our Grand Tree, fully evolve into Feraligatr, and then go from there. So let's see if my opponent can do anything with this. I could even knock out this Pidgey by continuing to attack with Badoo, actually. But for now, I'm gonna use Luminous Energy, attach it to my Monkey Dory, and just keep attacking with Badoo. Maybe we can get a knockout off of this Pidgey. My opponent will use Professor's Research to draw into more cards. They got Fire Energy, attaching it to Charmander. They will retreat their Pidgey, and they're gonna go for a knockout against our Badoo. Alright, well, I think it is time to start attacking here. So what I'm afraid of is if my opponent can actually get the momentum they need. But Charizard EX decks are pretty straightforward, so we do have a little bit of variance to our strategy here. For now, I'm just gonna get Mimikyu, use Colress's Tenacity to get Grand Tree and another energy. I'll get the Dark Energy actually. No, I'll get the water energy. That way, if we need to use Feraligatr's wave attack, we can use that. Because that one requires 2 water energies. So, for now, I'm just going to use Grand Tree, evolve into Croconaw, and then into Feraligatr. So I probably just use hit and run tactics against this Charmander, get a knockout, retreat into Mimikyu, and my opponent should not be able to deal any damage to Mimikyu. For now, I'm going to use Monkey Dory, just transfer as much damage counters as I can to Pidgey to get a knockout, and we got Buddy Buddy Poffin for that. So what I'm going to do is just use Reverse Thrust, and we're dealing 300 damage because we're hitting for weakness. And we're just going to retreat into Mimikyu. However, my opponent had Legacy Energy attached to their Charmander. So that A-Spec card prevents your opponent from taking 1 prize. So since Charmander is single prize, it subtracts 1 prize from what we get. So we actually don't get any prizes for knocking out their Charmander. But at least that uses up that Legacy Energy. They can't reuse it anymore, but here we go. The momentum has come. They had Rare Candy. They also have Charizard EX in their hand, so once they evolve, they can activate the Infernal Rain ability, which allows them to search their deck for up to 3 basic fire energies, and then they can attach it to any of their Pokemon. So they will attach 2 to their active and 1 to their Radiant Charizard. So late game, for each prize card their opponent has taken, it subtracts 1 colorless energy from Radiant Charizard's attack cost. But they're going to use Pokemon Catcher, and they actually got heads. They're going to target Feraligatr. And we're going to lose our attacker. Thankfully, our Grand Tree is still sticking, so hopefully we can evolve into another Feraligatr. But they also have Dusknoir. They're going to focus on Mimikyu, though. So by knocking out their Dusknoir, we get 1 prize. We got another Monkey Dory. And they're going to continue to put energies to their Radiant Charizard. So at this point, with the 2 prizes that we've already taken, they're dealing 240 damage. So they knock out our Feraligatr, and with Pokegear, I could probably get Lana's Aid. So I'll do that, I think. I could get Mimikyu again, and then Croconaw, and another Totodile. That way I can set up another basic, so that I can set up a secondary attacker if I need to. So this is what we have. We still have Grand Tree. Thankfully, we still have a Croconaw in our deck, but no Feraligatr. So we're gonna have to change this up a little bit here. I could use Counter Catcher to actually trap their Radiant Charizard, because they'll need at least 1 more energy to power it up to attack. But if they don't have it, we might be okay. So I'm just gonna Reverse Thrust into Monkey Dory in case they're able to attack. We still have our attacker, and then next turn we can evolve into Feraligatr. So Charizard EX has 330 HP. It will actually take 6 damage counters initially, so that when we use Feraligatr's attack to deal 280, we can take a knockout off of Charizard EX. With Grand Tree, my opponent evolves into Dusclops, but they didn't have Dusknoir. Thankfully, they didn't have Dusknoir. So if they did, they're gonna take another knockout, and that would be bad for us. But they didn't get to attack. I guess they didn't have the energy. Alright. Let's go ahead and evolve into another Croconaw. I can't retreat my Monkey Dory though, so that's gonna be a problem. I'm gonna go ahead and evolve into Feraligatr. I'm gonna use Torrential Heart. At least for now, I'm gonna go ahead and just use Adrena Brain and start stacking damage counters to their Charizard EX. So I'm focusing on that one because that one has the energy. So if they end up attacking with that, we could just knock it out with Feraligatr. But we need a supporter card here. We need another energy to use Feraligatr's attack. And we need to retreat Monkey Dory. The question is, can my opponent retreat their Radiant Charizard? They're going to use Super Rod to recover some Pokemon and or energies. So they're going to recover Pidgeot, EX, Dusknoir, and Duskull. They're going to set up another Duskull on their bench. And they're going to use Grantry. They can't evolve that right away. So you can't evolve a basic Pokemon that you just put into play, but they're just going to go for a knockout. They had the energy in their hand, so they use that to energize Radiant Charizard to knock out our Monkey Dory. So my opponent just needs 2 more prizes. Thankfully, Charizard EX is pretty straightforward. So they need to do 2 more knockouts. Let's go ahead and get 2 energies with Earthen Vessel. And what I'm going to do is just try and transfer these damage counters because I can't afford for my opponent to knock out one of our Pokemon with their Dusknoir because they can use Grantry their next turn, fully evolve it, and they just deal 130 damage to one of our Pokemon. So we got 1 prize for that at least. And now what I can do, I could probably just do Reverse Thrust, put my Mimikyu in the active, and then we should be okay, right? So we get another prize for that. We got an Artisan, okay. Then we can take care of this Charizard EX next turn. I just hope they don't have boss orders. Ah, they have boss's orders! Man, I hate it when that happens. Am I the only one? I'm pretty sure you guys have experienced this plenty of times. So they're gonna get a knockout against our Feraligatr. Let's go ahead and trap their other Charizard EX, because if they have no access to our Candy and another Charizard, we should be okay. And we're just gonna take out the Grantry so they have no access to it. And then I can't use Bonsly because my opponent could just knock out their Dusclops to get their prize for knocking out Bonsly. So we got another Water Energy from Chloris Tenacity. It's all or nothing anyways, so I might as well just put Luxurious Cape to add HP to Crocona. And I'm just gonna Big Bite. I'm gonna trap this Charizard EX in the active spot. And I'm just gonna wait for that opportunity for us to get Feraligatr. So either we recover Feraligatr, or we draw into what we need. We should be fine. They have Crushing Hammer though, but thankfully they got Tails, so we will retain that Water Energy because we'll need 2 energies to knock out this Charizard EX. We got an Arven! Yo, okay. And we got Night Stretcher. Nice! You know what, guys? I think we got this. Let's go ahead and use Night Stretcher. Get Feraligatr. We gotta do this right. Make sure we get the sequencing good here. We can use Torrential Hearts, and we have 2 Monkey Dories with Dark Energies. So we can transfer exactly 5. Thankfully, this Charizard EX had that initial 10 damage to it. So, you know what? This is exactly what we needed, guys. And now, Giant Wave will deal 280 damage so that we can knock out Charizard EX, getting us our last 2 prizes to win the game. That was a close one. Good game. And that's it for the video. Thank you all so much for watching the Popsicleknight channel, and until next time, please stay safe and have a great day.